the Ironbridge Gorge, as a rich industrial past and a monument preserved by the Ironbridge Gorge Museum Trust. It stands as a testament to one of the greatest periods in history. Ironbridge was the first cast iron bridge in the world. It stands as a symbol of a move towards industrialized society and has a monument of the skills and enterprise of the early ironmasters. The Ironbridge Gorge was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. For 40 years it led the world, and for at least a century it was one of the most important industrial areas in the country. There were many foundries, coal mines, and china works, and the river was busy with cargo vessels. The gorge attracted visitors from all over Europe and even America. The gorge lies on the upper reaches of the River Severn in Shropshire. Nearby is the Blists Hill Open Air Museum. The site was set aside by the Telford Development Corporation to become a museum. It is on a 50-acre open-air site that contains railways, canals, old roads, clay mines, coal mines, ironworks, blast furnaces, old buildings, shops. A bank and a pub have been rebuilt here. Blists Hill is a real Victorian experience. There's everything here that you would find in any Victorian town. The air is filled with the taste and smells that your grandfather and great-grandfather would have known.
What's the rate of currency today then?
Pounds, shillings and pence. What else should it be? Pennies, halfpennies, farthings, sixpennies and threepennies. That's what we do.
Brand new as well. Crikey.
Well, of course, they're all minted especially for us, madam.
Right. Good afternoon.
Well, I've got a bit of an headache. What can you suggest?
You need to go next door for that, if you've got a headache.
Go back and have what you had for your headache in the first place.
Go to the pub. Yeah.
Sold most things that they would have wanted for food on a daily basis.
Right.
And ladies would have come here on a daily basis, except for Sunday, of course, when they went to church, and would have just bought what they needed for the day. Because of course then they hadn't got fridges. They just got a cold slab or the breeze to keep things. But also it gives me a reason.
You only ask the old money first for a bit of fun. Now, if you'd have come in here in 1900, we could offer you a dark room or a studio hire, because the original basement ones did that.
What have you got for headaches? I've got a bit of an headache.
Well, originally you could chew the bark off the white willow tree,
right.
but nowadays we'll sell you an aspirin. And a lot of painkilling medicine was based on opiums.
Yes.
Yeah. For your quinine, for your malaria. So if you lived in India, you'd drink tonic water because the quinine keeps the malaria away, but it's not very tasty, is it? So you could add a Dutch medicine to make it more tasty. And what Dutch medicine am I referring to? Gin.
Gin.
Now I can't stand either of those two on their own. And also, if you're not in India, you don't need the malaria properties, but it's very good at back spasms or cramps, which I don't have a problem with anymore.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
So when did you make this?
Well, I don't know, because it's a piece I acquired. I mean, this must be turn of the century, mustn't it? I just love it because of the incomplete bit there.
And the drawings all right.
Maybe it's because there's something more sculptural about it.
Yeah, isn't it?
I don't know what it is really.
So you'd stitch it first and then cut out these areas?
Oh yes, that's right. You stick little stitches round, look, and then buttonhold it, and then of course you use your little stiletto or the stalk scissors to nip it out. Little pointed scissors, didn't you? See that
That's
one?
lovely, isn't it?
Yes, I love those bits. Actually.
Well, thank you for showing me those. That's a real treat.
Well, it's nice to think someone else loves it as well.
Yeah,
you see.
yeah.
And that's a good
Well,
thing
I've
for
got a sort of
proving
a-
the point, doesn't it?
I've got an arts background, you see.
Yes.
So visual things.
Yes.
In fact, it was my first art teacher who introduced a new word to me, and he said it's a word that means those people who love to look at things. No need to possess it, just to look at beauty in nature or whatever.
Try middle size first, then we can go up and down. Thanks. The mirror behind you. Oh, that's a bit of
Very
class, isn't
dashing.
it? Yeah, that's a bit more
Yeah,
class.
you've
isn't
sold it already. You've
Isn't
sold
it? Isn't it? That's a bit more class, isn't it?
I think so.
Much
Yes.
better this not.
Oh, there's also
That's true.
Blists Hill's post office.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm very fine, thank you. Most pleasant day, isn't it?
It is gorgeous.
These are seals. Basically, what we've got here is this would be your letter, and then we would pick up the wax stick. Basically, your flame goes up, drips down, so you've got about a dozen drops of wax going down onto there. Just enough so that you've got a pool, and then just press gently and away you go. And then if you were sending a parcel through, then where the knot of the string is, we'd drop the wax on there and makes it very safe and secure.
The living accommodation. The local chipping.
Yeah.
Walter Lloyd was the local boot and shoe maker. Inside the workshop and living accommodation.
On the tinsmiths, but as you can see, I don't make things from tin plate, I make things from copper. Of course, people prefer it these days, you know.
if anybody's got any questions, please do ask. Put them in the right. It's like this. Here you go. Look, you see this,
right,
this
yeah.
mould here. Well, that mould is actually for that type of flexi gel.
What are these made of, the moulds?
They're flexi gel. It's called flexi gel.
What is this, plaster then? Plaster?
Plaster of Paris.
Yeah.
See these up here. And it's just probably take about 2 days to dry.
Right.
We've got a drying room around the back, so it takes a day. But these would probably take about two months to dry.
Okay.
So not are they only ceiling growers, they also double up as air vents as well.
Many of the exhibits are unique. This large iron frame building came from the Woolwich dockyards, and it now houses a wrought iron works, which is the only works making wrought iron in the Western world. It was a key process of the Industrial Revolution. Candles were important in the home and in the mining industry. In 1813, the Madleywood Mining Company sorted tenders from candle makers to supply 400 dozen candles.
I made the candles in here. This particular shop was originally in Madeley, and what the museum did was bring it brick by brick, rebuilt it in basically the authentic Victorian candle maker. And so everything you see in the shop here is the real McCoy. There's a foot pedal here somewhere, there it is, and it basically twists all the string. You would then give it one dip into the wax to strengthen it, and that would then remain there until those are free. Well, you know, a position is free for the next lot. You would have done around about 1,000 every 90 minutes. On here we've got about 300 at the moment, and it was just basically taking the rack of candles off the wheel, putting them onto the nodding donkey, which is a nodding donkey. It's got a dual purpose. One of them is just simply to dip the candles in, but also it's a weighing machine as well. So if the weight of the candles was something like that, we would know that they'd gone through 25 to 30 dips and ready for taking off the racking and ultimately to sell to the customer. And the candles are then returned back to the wheel, like so. Bring it round, and the process starts again. The idea of the wheel is that by the time that one that we've just done returns back to there, the wax should be dry enough for another layer of wax.
And there's a reason for the different colours, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there are two reasons. The green in there is what we originally in Victorian times was copper nitrate. It's a poison, and that would have been put in by the candle maker on behalf of the mine owner, Madeleywood Mine. The mine would have asked for about 24 dozen of these end of each month, and he would have then given a few of these to each miner to go down into the mine with. But the idea of it is that it was to distinguish between the ordinary domestic candle and the one that was done for the mine. So if you were found to have a green candle at home, you would be in serious trouble. But the other more important reason was that the mine owners would at the end of the day discard the green stubs at the end, bottom stubs of the candles, discard them on the mine floor, and because they were made of tallow, which is animal fat, the rats would come out to play and start gnawing away at the tallow candles, but they weren't very partial to copper nitrate. So it was a way of keeping the rat population down in the mine.
The goods station exhibits a steam shunter that was used in the local mines. The smell of freshly baked bread coming from the bakery, Farriner's.
Good afternoon.
You make your own bread then?
This is all out of the oven within the last half an hour. We've got the plain bread and the plain cobs, the fruit bread and the fruit cobs, and I recommend the fruit cobs personally.
The Madeleywood Mining Company, surveyor's clerk's office and living accommodation. But apart from showing working environments, Blists Hill shows how people lived. In 1861, in this small squatter cottage, a 44-year-old cobbler lived with his wife, 4 sons, aged 24, 22, 17 and 5, and 2 daughters aged 20 and 14.
Oh, well, you will do, up until when they're slaughtered. You say we're waiting for the new ones to come now. You get the new ones in the spring. No, they don't like it when it's cold, you see. You don't want to be getting them when it's cold, because it's jolly good.
We're luxury now, don't we? Oh gosh, we don't realise we're born.
We don't.
This lady's here doing the
Yeah.
It's a short daily job, or do you do it once a week?
well, I do down here once a week. We move around different exhibits. There's another lady who's here 5 days, and I do 3 different ones.
The woodworking shop produced everything from beehives to wheelbarrows and coffins.
Of 1850. They tried it, it's a test one. They try these coins, that's solid silver, copper, outside. These are the coins of the realm.
Wow, fantastic. Very interesting.
I'm making a deck chair for a teddy bear. And it's all recycled woods, all made from a table. And even the dowels are hand turned. So, this is what it's going to look like. We haven't invented plastic yet, sir, but that's roughly what it will look like.
Great.
So yes, it's all going to be drilled now. So you see the double florin?
No, I didn't see that.
Ah, the 4 shilling coin. These are your crowns. 4 shilling. Half crown. Florin. It's a double florin. And they were only out for 4 years because of that. So close. The solid silver coin. There's an 1844 crown there, which is a bit nice. You see how nice she was. Yes, they have some nice coins.
Nearly all the needs of the community were met locally. In the printer shop, handbills, tickets, and posters were produced, as they were 100 years ago.
There is a problem with these presses, and that is people used to put their hands in the machine at the wrong time. It's on their time, and they used to remove their fingers. Now the man who built these machines is famous because he made the machines that remove fingers. He lived in Nottingham, his name was Henry Smith Cropper, and if you lost your fingers you became a cropper. Yeah, my young assistant over there, he's going to be trained on this machine in the next few weeks. It's all so hard, you know, it's all, you know, you don't know what to do.
His hands are there at the minute.
Yeah. I usually use red ink that day, you know.
Just in case.
Yeah, at least we don't spoil the printing, do we? Opposite here we've got type, the relief pattern. On the disc we've got the ink. There we're putting our piece of paper or card into 2 little clips. It's a treadle power, so a single tab on the floor. The rollers pick up the ink, put the ink on the type, and that's going to get pressed against the type.
So we take the printed one out, we put the non-printed one in. We take one out, we put the new one in. And this is a continuous operation, which is about 600 an hour. 1 every 6 seconds. They are. And this is going to feature in an educational project for children where they're going to be making bricks, and this will be the brick box. They put it in there and they can take it home. Yeah. We call it the soggy brick box. It's a brilliant machine. This is where you could have business cards, wedding invitations, dance tickets and things like that printed.
Yeah.
1873 it was built and it was still in use in the 1970s.
Wow.
It's just about to put the ink, the paper onto the ink type.
Right.
We need to increase the pressure a little bit in certain places. This is old wooden type. So he's going to put a few things on top of it to help that. The first thing is called the blanket. This is to protect the type. Then he's going to put some extra sheets of newspaper to give that little bit of extra pressure. And that piece of paper is called make ready. On top of that he's going to put the big white thing, which is called a tin pan. That tin pan makes sure nothing moves while he does the printing. The handle there, he's going to grab hold of that handle and wind it underneath the press. When he pulls the lever, he's going to use the weight of the pen to press the paper onto the ink type, and that's half a ton of pressure. This is half the weight of a car bearing down on there now. And that's it, it's printed on the poster. And it should say Daily News, Boer War latest. In 1900, the Boer War was big news all year. So he's just unpacking everything a bit now. You should see a nice Boer War notice. Would blanket on. You were given a minute to do a print, but on a big poster like that, that was really unfeasible. This is taking about 2 or 3 minutes.
You have to change all the lettering and stuff on there.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
So you peel it off. It's quite sticky, the ink, and what you're worried about is it lifting the letters.
Yeah.
It should be okay. Then what we do is hang it up for 24 hours to dry. We're not in a hurry, are we? So let's have a look. How's it done? There you are.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good, that is.
And in the 19th century, beer was regarded as an essential ingredient in the making of iron.
Like a bird with broken wings. Well, that's nice, eh? That what you're doing now is nice. That's the bird fluttering down with a broken wing. Very good, isn't it, sir? Yeah. We should have it again, I reckon.
I think so.
Yeah, a moment like that is worth repeating. In the rich man's arms she flutters. Here's the flutter. Like a bird with broken wings. Do you know where that comes from? No, I don't. I'll show you. This isn't going to any further with the song, I'm going to get on with it. First he loved her, then he left her, and she hasn't got a ring altogether. It's the same the whole world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? Then he takes her to the theatre. See them sitting in the stalls. With one hand she holds her programme, with the other strokes his leg. It's the same the whole world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. Standing on the bridge at midnight. Typical. Making laws to put down crime. Hypocrite. Honestly, 170 years since this was written and nothing's changed, has it? While the victim of his passion trails away